Now this morning, our regular parenting expert joins us in studio to share some tips on how to stay energized until the end of the year.
Now, it's almost the end of the year. I almost cannot believe it. And whether you are parenting children, teaching children, or even managing a team at work, it's vital that you know how to fill your own cup. And this means keeping your own emotional, physical, and mental energy up. Now, this morning, we chat to our creative parenting expert, Nikki Bush, just to tell us how do we fill our own cups just to make it through this last push to the end of the year. Nikki, lovely to have you with us. I think I can speak for a lot of people out there. We can feel it. It's been a long year.
It's the countdown to the meltdown.
It's the countdown to the meltdown. I like that.
And we've just got to make sure we don't actually melt down.
Yeah. So how do we not do that? How do we fill our own cups to make sure that we have just the last bit of energy for this push?
So we need to keep perspective because it's the last few weeks. There's lots going on. And if we don't fill our own cups, how do we keep giving to everybody else? Particularly if you're managing a team or you're a parent or a teacher, you've got these very needy children and you've got to find a way. You know what the air hostess says? When that oxygen mask falls down, you've got to use it first as the adult before you help a child. Because if you don't have that oxygen, if you don't have that energy, there's nothing you can do to help anybody. So there are things that we can do. And it is about looking after yourself first. So things like what we eat. It's so tempting to start eating sugar and starch at this time of the year, and that doesn't help you get sustained energy. Yeah. Sleep is a huge, huge issue, and it's becoming massive internationally that we're waking up to the fact that too little sleep is actually causing so much harm physically, emotionally, mentally. And one of the things we need to do is detox for an hour before bedtime. No screens. Because the blue rays coming off a screen deplete about 20% of the melatonin, which is your sleep hormone, before you even go to sleep. And then you battle to sleep and your quality of sleep is not as good as it should be.
All right. Okay. It's very important to take the tablets away from the kids as well.
That too. Yeah. So, and then things like water, hydration. It's a hot time of the year here in South Africa. So drink as much water as you can. Get some exercise. You know better than anybody. Those happiness endorphins are really, they help. And then the other one that's important is that if you're carrying emotional baggage, that's emotional toxicity. And that kind of overflows into our children, into our colleagues, and it doesn't help anybody. So we need to try and resolve some of that emotional baggage.
So basically also it comes down to knowing yourself and what things you need to do because there's only certain things that fill you up as opposed to what will fill somebody else up.
That's right. So I know many people, for example, who really need to run and exercise in order to replenish their energy. I, for example, because I'm in the public eye a lot, I need to withdraw into my cave. I need to be alone and I need to be quiet, even if it's just for 20 or 30 minutes every now and again, just alone, no music, no nothing, just quiet. And then what about things like baking? That's something that I would do on a weekend, is to get a multi-sensory experience that's away from a screen that fills my cup. So everybody will do it differently. Some people need to socialize in order to fill their emotional cup. So you've got to know what it is for you so that you can fill that cup in the best possible way for you.
Yeah. So I think the key here is trying to figure out yourself and what really energizes you because you could be extremely exhausted, but a workout might do just the trick.
Exactly.
That's very interesting. All right, Nikki, we're going to continue with this conversation a little bit later on. It really is such an interesting one. It comes down to knowing yourself. So go at it and find out what exactly it is that energizes you for the rest of the year.